I'm glad we didn't get that on camera. Right? The prequel trilogy. Chase, go right ahead. I guess we'll just start with The Phantom Menace and we'll talk about each one before. So, just not even the prequel trilogy as a whole, just The Phantom Menace. Expectations going in, first hearing about it, blah, 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 blah.
Intro to prequels. Anytime you get prequels, it's kind of odd.
This was the first, this started the whole going back and...
Yeah, like I said, it's just... I think I've grown up to where if you can take any individual movie and enjoy it, or try and piece it together, you just do it one by one, build them like building blocks. I can tolerate a lot. Some of the stuff didn't make sense, some of the characters, but yeah, I do like Canon.
It came out when I was 9 years old, so...
I kind of hoped you would just stop talking right then. It came out when I was 9 years old, Brad.
I can relate to Anakin. He's just a little kid building robots.
I enjoyed it at the time.
You can relate to Anakin. So I am...
I pod race, Mom.
I mean, at the time I enjoyed it, and then...
Yeah, like I said, once stuff started to click.
Right.
And you just started to get sad.
Right, exactly.
What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy? Their betrayal should be dealt with.
That's the next one.
No, it's the one after the next one. Yeah. I was just going for what Meat Canyon did with their wooden Anakin portrayal. So I am a Jedi Master. All right, so I was all kinds of hyped for this movie. I had what was that thing that Qui-Gon has that he says...
The razor.
Huh?
The razor.
Was it called the razor?
No, it was a razor. Like, he just put stuff on a razor.
Yeah, but it was like his little communicator that he sent the blood sample of Anakin's to Obi-Wan.
Yep.
They had like a supersized version of that for the toys, and the toys came with this little like see-through chip. And you put that on there and it would say lines from the movie. Mm-hmm. So I had all the action figures, I had all those chips. I had all of that before I even saw the movie.
Oh.
I was so hyped for it.
Whoops.
And then?
Then I saw it. I'll just skip.
The greatest saga of all time was ruined by this film.
Well, we're watching it anyway, I
From
guess.
the billion-dollar jowls of George Lucas comes the chance to relive the biggest letdown in movie history in 3D. All the parts you forgot about.
I forgot they
like the
did 3D.
bureaucratic conversations.
The chair does not recognize the senator from the Trade Federation at this time.
The racism.
We shall not deem so.
Natalie Portman's weird robot voice.
Will not condone a course of action that will lead us to war.
More racism.
I was not aware of such figure.
And this kind of anti-Semitic thing.
Only money.
In 3D! So strap yourself in and get ready for an hour and a half of people standing in semicircles, council meetings, different council meetings, and sitting just to get to 5 minutes of cool stuff. Starring Oscar Schindler as Jesus, Jake Yoda, and you so remember him, sir.
Lisa Conchata Binks.
This February, George Lucas defiles his childhood for a second time in the third dimension. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace 3D, because George Lucas has to shit somewhere. Generatrix can control him. The force bounces off his double chin. Moves like Jabba, he's got big boobs like Jabba.
And it's funny that Spock's right there. The aliens on the Trade Federation race, or aliens that were on the Trade Federation. Lord Sidious. You know, those guys, the ones that look like our interpretation of what an alien would look like.
Right.
Yeah. What I always thought.
Didn't read that.
You know what their race is called? Nemordians. I'm not joking.
Okay.
It was George Lucas's crack on Leonard Nimoy. Attack of the Clones!
Yeah.
The worst, well, I'm gonna give this movie a pass because I've got a lot to say about something that's coming.
From the man who created some of your fondest childhood memories, then took a huge dump on them, comes the prequel sequel that proved Phantom Menace wasn't an accident.
This isn't how
Those guys.
Star Wars, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Once again, the Republic is in turmoil. Watch as the chin-stroking Jedi are pulled into a war between a completely disposable droid army and a completely disposable clone army. Seriously, there's no reason to get emotionally involved in any of this crap. Experience an awkward, forced love story as soulless as the computer it was made in. With so many visual effects, the filmmakers didn't have any time left over for things like realistic choreography, realistic dialogue,
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
or realistic Hayden Christensen acting.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Not like you.
Come on, JJ. There's no way you can do any worse than this. Natalie Portman and her space hair return as Senator Padme Amidala when two of the galaxy's best sharpshooting assassins try to kill her with a poisonous worm-pooping robot. Two Jedi warriors will come to her aid. Obi-Wan Kenobi, a man forced to act opposite lifeless CGI characters like Hayden Christensen, and Anakin Skywalker. A rat-tailed asshole who's been frequently stalking Padme for the last decade.
I've thought about her every day since we
He's not even looking
I
at
don't
her.
think she liked me watching her. I'd much rather dream about Padme. You're exactly the way I remember you in my dreams.
Please don't look at me like that.
I know.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Sorry, my lady.
Ugh. Right along
You
with
remember
these
that?
one-dimensional heroes in a movie so unevenly paced, you'll have to wait over an hour before you even meet the main villain. Instead, strap yourself in for even more of the stuff that made Phantom Menace so cold, lifeless, and boring. Like people sitting and talking, standing and talking, walking and talking. One person standing and talking, while another is sitting and talking. People standing and talking, then taking a seat for more talking. And a whole bunch of wipes.
Brisbane Hill.
Yakety sax, right? Is that what that song's from? Well, this is the off. But I get slack from my transitions. Jesus.
Starring Hey Don't Act Again, You in a Bad Movie,
You in a Bad-
Yogurt, M. Bison, Nipley Portman, Lawrence Fishburne, definitely not the Emperor, Dickhead, Hulu, Darth Saruman, and Django Unbrained. Star Wars Episode 11, Attack of the Clones. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but the clones never actually attack anyone in this movie. So why the f would you call this movie Attack of the Clones? Be sure to subscribe for more honest trailers.
AKA Donor Daddy.
Now,
So we come, Lord of the Rings verbiage. We come to it at last. So Chase, coming off of the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, we get this. What do you remember about going into this? What'd you think of it? No. Dan? As he's
It's like they're constantly trying to put peanut butter between two slices of bread. They keep forgetting one of those elements.
one
Bread
of these
and peanut
things is
butter.
not like the other.
That's right.
One of these things is Hayden Christensen.
That's right.
So are you just
Yeah,
speechless?
yeah, pretty much.
Because at this point, you're just staring at Hayden Christensen. He's staring at you.
He's my sand. he's irritating. He's coarse.
And he gets everywhere.
He gets everywhere.
Yeah,
Not like here.
that's what Padme said.
That's right. You're coarse. You're irritating. You're dead to me.
Giggity. Dan?
Yeah, after seeing number 2, I watched this just to see if it got better, and it didn't.
Hey, I like episode 3.
I mean, it's got some
It's
qualities. to
far
it.
better than the
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
the other two.
Right.
Again,
It's like a poorly knit sweater. Let's say it that way. You may have like the band on the bottom is perfect, and then you got all these. It went from knitting to crochet to macrame, and like, oh wait, sweater. And that's where A New Hope starts again.
Sweater.
Sweater. So that's all I can say.
If you like sweaters, you could always be a gangster rapper. So, yeah, I was working at a radio station back in my hometown. This was 2003, 2004.
Thank God for comp tickets, otherwise I never would have watched this.
Well, I will never forget this movie was coming out around Father's Day because I had the poster that said, "Who's your daddy?" And it was Darth Vader on the cover for this. Because I think that was the first instance of when they started the whole "May the 4th be with you" with this movie.
Gotcha.
And I've always been fascinated with the turn of a character. So I was really interested to see, because the other two movies, I mean, the one he was, first one he was a kid.
Right.
There was nothing outside of Yoda saying, "Much fear I sense in you."
It made no sense at the time.
And then Master Windu going, "Have a seat, bitch." Well, that was from me, Kane. I'm getting it mixed up. Then the second one, he was just a whiny turd. I didn't just kill the men, but the women and
The younglings.
I didn't just kill the men, but the women and the children.
Take my wife.
then of course when his mom dies, she's just like, it's like, jeez.
Hairball. Starring Andy Kaufman.
So, man on Mustafar. But yeah, I had gotten the game for PlayStation 2. From what I remember, it's a decent game, but it had cutscenes in it, and it got.
I know what cutscenes are. I'm not that old.
If you want to skip to the actual reaction, it'll be a minute. So scrub through, because I'm about to say a spoiler. If you haven't seen this movie, that says more about you than it does us.
Yeah, that's right.
Just saying. Just saying.
Lucky ones.
You're one of the lucky ones. No, the lucky ones is one of the ones that haven't seen the sequel trilogy. So I guess I am one of the lucky ones. Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So I was playing the game, and my roommate at the time, Richard, he's like, "Why are you playing that in the living room?" And I'm like, "Because this is where the PlayStation is." "Yeah, but I don't want to see this." I was like, "It's not spoiling any." It spoils some stuff. So it gets up to the whole Anakin Mace. I believe the Chancellor is a Sith Lord. And then Mace Windu goes, "A Sith Lord? Yes, the one we've been looking for this whole time." Cut the diaper. "Great Scott! Stay here. You'll only get in the way." And then that mission starts off with Anakin walking up, Emperor already mutilated, or whatever you want to call it, and Mace standing there above him, and then what follows next is one of the longest lightsaber fights you will ever have. So it changed it so you wouldn't actually see what actually happened in the movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I need to stop playing. So I did. So then I saw this movie, and it was okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it, because that hate is reserved for other things more recent that we will discuss here in a little while. But, episode 3. Revenge of the Sith.
From Disney's bitter ex-boyfriend comes the finale of the saga so bad, this ridiculous, overacted, disappointing mess is known as the Good One. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. Return to a time long ago when there was still hope that the prequels could stick the landing with a film that starts out semi-promising.
This is where the fun begins.
Then falls flat on its stupid face. Watch Star Wars finish its turn to the dark side as everything you've grown to hate returns.
Midichlorians. Younglings.
And cringe as Anakin Skywalker completes his journey from annoying kid to obnoxious teenager to insufferable Jedi Knight in a performance so robotic, his body finally catches up to his acting. Although to be fair, no one can make this Drek sound natural.
Love won't save you, Padme. Only my new powers can do that.
Natalie Portman is back, and she's just kind of there. Weep as this once proud queen, senator, and warrior spends the whole movie barefoot and pregnant.
Annie, I want to have our baby back home on your roof. I can go early and fix up the baby's room.
And finally witness what the whole trilogy has been building to: Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. Watch the greatest movie villain of all time turn evil because he's passed up for a promotion.
We do not grant you the rank of master.
Has a bad dream about his secret wife. Commits Jedicide when an old man gives him a super vague promise about cheating death. Then gets burned to a crisp because his teacher is standing on a hill.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
I'm going to jump now.
Darth Vader is a one, dumb, easy-to-manipulate lapdog who got his suit because he couldn't quite jump high enough. Mystery solved. Thanks for clearing that up, George. Experience the best Star Wars prequel by default, simply because something occasionally happens. Even if that something is a lizard chasing a robot on a unicycle. But don't worry, fans of sitting and talking, because every time things start to get interesting, George Lucas gives us some of the cittiest, talkiest scenes in the trilogy, featuring council meetings,
The capture of General Grievous will end this war.
therapy sessions,
Close to you? Yes.
commutes,
With all due respect, Master, is he not the chosen one?
No.
weird bubble shows,
I don't think.
and just staring out of the window.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. Aw,
All
there goes a tear.
slow, building up to the
somebody
most
threw a
obvious reveal of all
plastic cup on the
time that the evil Sith Lord is the sinister old guy who talks exactly like the evil Sith Lord.
What?
Gasp! Not the guy who does
No.
4 equal head turns in one conversation.
And the Jedi don't to create.
You can go back and tell them.
Woo! 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 Over that mouth.
Not from a Jedi.
What a twist! After 2 pointless wheel-spinning movies, watch a finale where Anakin goes from peaceful Jedi to child-murdering maniac in less than 10 minutes.
It's not the Jedi way. He must live.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Die. My mom hated
Followed
this.
by 20 minutes of George Lucas
see it.
jamming everyone into their New Hope starting positions.
Right?
Even if it ruins the franchise continuity. Like, how did Leia remember her mom's face?
She was very beautiful.
Why didn't Obi-Wan remember Leia?
That boy is our last hope.
No, there is another.
How
think
did
he was talking
Owen
about
Blue
Leia.
age 40 years in 20 years? Why does all the galaxy's technology look like it got worse? And how can we ever take Darth Vader seriously again after we've seen this? No is right. Starring the following proof that more does not equal better. 1 ham-handed cameo.
Goodbye, Chewbacca.
2 disposable CGI armies. 2 cyborgs with breathing problems. 4 lightsabers at the same time. 4 unnecessary CGI flippy jumps. 8 severed limbs.
2 geese of lamb.
About 17 things R2-D2 couldn't do in the original, and thousands of highly trained Jedi Knights going down like total punks. Seriously? You can cut through droids and clones like tissue paper and that's how you go out? That's pathetic, man. Star Wars, Episode 111, The Force Awakens. If you think the movie was bad, wait until you see what they cut out.
It's broken. Can you understand what he's saying? I'm pretty sure that beep is down. Oh, yes, you're right. Beep is up.
Be sure to subscribe for more honest trailers. Hey, Screen.
So I said something about the opera thing.
Yeah.
When we get in the next video, in the sequel trilogy, after episode 8, before we go into that. Remind me before 9 before I push play the opera thing after we get done with our intros. Because I had a thought the other day, and I've looked online. I don't think anybody else has this thought. So it's an Outpost original from this dumb brain of mine. But thoughts on Revenge of the Sith, or excuse me, Revenge of the
Mike Tyson's favorite movie.
That pretty much sums it up, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like I said, it's like I said, the whole peanut butter thing. They had to do something. Like I said, you had to have the bursts. You had to have the split ups. You had to have.
You really
everything.
didn't have to have any of that.
Well.
You could have.
Well, yeah, as long as you
Put
just
her in.
foreshadow it and just go on and make a good movie.
I mean,
but yeah, I know what you're saying.
You could have cut it right there. Instead of Obi-Wan taking her to give birth, it could have been implied that Bail Organa is taking Padme with them.
To see an aunt in the country.
And maybe she dies off screen later, which is why Leia remembers her. Or she dies, Leia doesn't remember her. And the whole beautiful but sad is the aunt.
Yeah.
Because of the Queen, former senator, dying, she looked up to her. You know what I mean? You could easily write around that.
You could. But I didn't want to.
And then, like they said, shoehorning everybody into their episode 4 starting points.
Yeah.
And then Disney comes back with Rogue One.
Decent as a standalone.
Right. But you know.
So is Solo, and I still haven't seen that. Not going to. What's the Dana Carvey? Not gonna do that.
Wouldn't be prudent.
But the turn, like I was saying earlier, the turn, like Vegeta, not when he first showed up, but in the Buu saga, when he realized Goku was only there for a day, and he's fat, he saw his little way in there, and he let Babidi, spoilers. I love that. And then his redemption, final atonement.
Right.
That was just fantastic, the way they did that. But this, I don't think George Lucas could write his way out of a paper bag. But I will give him credit where credit's due. These 3 movies are nowhere near 8 and 9 levels of atrocity.
Yeah.
I have seen episode 8. I have not seen episode 9, but I've read about it and I've seen some things. So, growing up as a Star Wars fan, I think that leads credit to me to talk about it. But that's all next time. As we dive into the sequel trilogy of Star Wars to finish up our little recap of honest trailers. We'll see you then, unless I've smashed the TV and go, oh, darn, oh, we can't do it now, shucks. Too bad. Put your iPad right there.